Hey there, dive buddies. We love to go deep on all sorts of things here, but um, today we're diving into something a little different.
Different how?
Well, we're exploring this idea of generosity,
Okay.
and it's all thanks to Christian Antonsen over at Digital Cafe. You familiar with him? His blog?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, he's got this post that really got me thinking, especially as we're getting closer to the holidays.
Oh, yeah, the holidays.
It's all about how generosity and joy are kind of like intertwined.
Interesting. Generosity and joy. Okay.
Right. And he starts with this line that just totally hooked me. He says, "Have you ever noticed that giving feels good? There's a reason for that."
It's true. Giving does feel good.
Yeah. But I bet there's more to it than we think.
What do you think? What's going on there?
Well, I think Antonsen is really onto something here. I mean, we all instinctively know this. Like, we all know that giving feels good.
Yeah.
But we don't always stop and think about WHY.
Right.
And it turns out there's a whole field of research on the psychology of giving.
Yeah. And there are some pretty compelling reasons why generosity boosts our own joy.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Spill it. What's the science behind this feel-good phenomenon?
So one of the main things is that giving shifts our focus outwards.
Outward, like away from ourselves.
Exactly. Instead of constantly dwelling on our own worries and our own problems, we're directing that energy towards helping someone else.
Okay.
And that can be incredibly freeing. It's like a mental vacation from your own anxieties.
I mean, that's so true. It's like when I'm feeling super stressed and I do something nice for someone else, it's like my own problems don't seem so big anymore.
Exactly. It's amazing how that works, right?
It is.
And you know what else? This outward shift, it can actually have a ripple effect.
A ripple effect.
Yeah. Like when we're less consumed by our own stuff, we're actually more open to connecting with other people.
Oh, I see.
And that can actually strengthen relationships.
So generosity is like that relationship glue.
It really is. It builds a sense of trust and reciprocity. Like you're saying, hey, I'm here for you.
It's true. Even little things like letting someone go ahead of me in line at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It creates a little moment of connection.
Yeah. It's like we both feel a little lighter,
Exactly. I love those little moments.
Me too. And those little moments, they add up.
They do.
Plus, think about it. When we help others, it also reinforces our own sense of self-worth.
How so?
Like, hey, I did something good. I matter.
Yeah.
And that little boost in self-esteem definitely contributes to feeling more joyful.
I love that. So we've got the outward shift, the relationship booster, and the self-esteem boost.
Right.
But Antonsen also mentions a sense of purpose.
Yes.
He does.
What's that all about?
Well, generosity can connect us to something larger than ourselves.
Okay.
Whether we're volunteering our time, donating to a cause, or just lending a hand.
Yeah.
It gives us a sense of meaning.
Meaning and purpose, yeah.
Especially in a world that can often feel pretty chaotic. Right. I can see that. It's like finding your place, And you know what I like?
What's that?
Antonsen doesn't just talk about the WHY behind generosity.
True.
He actually gives some practical ideas about how to weave it into our lives.
He does, which is great. And what I appreciate is that he emphasizes it doesn't have to be these big, grand gestures.
Small things count.
Totally. He talks about volunteering time, donating to causes, random acts of kindness, sharing resources, expressing gratitude.
That's like he's giving us a whole toolkit.
He is. Like maybe you're really good at fixing computers.
Yeah.
You could offer to help a neighbor who's struggling with theirs.
Right. Or maybe you love to garden and could help someone start their own garden. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Exactly. It's about those small ways to make a difference.
And it's funny. He even mentions his empty coffee cup at the end of the post.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like a metaphor for how giving can fill us up in a way that taking never can.
I love that. It's those little details that make his blog so great.
Right. And speaking of connecting with readers, it's clear this post resonated with people.
How so?
Well, two commenters, Sheridan Blanchard and Nina Medic, both chimed in to say how much they appreciated his reminder about the power of generosity.
It seems like it really struck a chord.
Especially during the holidays.
Yeah, for sure. The holidays are a time when we're already thinking about giving and gratitude.
So where do we go from here? What can our listeners take away from all of this?
Well, I think the big takeaway is that generosity isn't just about making other people happy.
You okay?
It's about cultivating a more joyful life for ourselves, too.
So it's like a win-win. Everyone benefits.
Exactly.
But, it makes me wonder, could there be a downside? Like, what if we focus too much on others?
Oh, that's a great point.
Could that lead to neglecting our own needs?
Yeah, that's definitely something to be mindful of. It's all about finding that balance, right?
Right.
But I think the beauty of generosity is that it doesn't have to be this either situation. When we give from a place of genuine care and compassion, it can actually energize us.
Deplete us.
Right. Instead of draining our energy, it can actually inspire us.
So it's not about becoming a martyr.
Definitely not.
It's about finding that sweet spot where we're taking care of ourselves and extending that care outward.
Exactly.
Like that whole oxygen mask thing on airplanes.
Oh, yeah, the classic analogy.
Yeah, put your own mask on first before you can help anyone else.
Exactly. We can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So when we nurture our own well-being, we actually have more to give to others.
And then that giving nourishes our own souls.
It's a beautiful cycle.
It is. You know something else I thought about when I was reading Antonson's post?
What's that?
He doesn't really talk about the motivations behind generosity.
That's true.
Like, is it truly selfless? Or is there always a little bit of self-interest mixed in there?
The age-old altruism debate. Some people would say that even the most selfless acts are driven by a desire to feel good about ourselves.
Or to gain approval from other people, maybe.
Exactly.
But I wonder if it really matters in the end, as long as the outcome is good.
That's an interesting question.
Like, if someone benefits from our generosity, even if we get a little ego boost out of it,
Yeah.
isn't that still a good thing?
I think it is. Maybe we shouldn't get too hung up on the WHY behind it.
Right.
And just focus on the fact that it has a positive impact.
On both the giver and the receiver.
Exactly.
So let's not get bogged down in semantics.
Right.
Let's just celebrate the good that comes from it.
Absolutely. I think that's what Antonson is encouraging us to do.
Yeah.
To embrace generosity as a path to a more fulfilling life for ourselves and others.
It's like he's saying, hey, just try it. You might be surprised how good it makes you feel.
Exactly. And it's not always about material things either.
Oh, that's true. It could be giving our time, our skills, our attention.
Our empathy. Sometimes the most meaningful acts of generosity are just about being present with someone.
Yeah.
Truly listening to them, offering support, a shoulder to cry on.
You know, I'm thinking about a time when I was feeling really down. And a friend just called me out of the blue to see how I was doing.
Oh, that's so nice.
It meant the world to me just knowing that someone cared.
It's those small acts of kindness that often make the biggest difference.
They really do.
And you know what? The more we practice generosity, the more we create a culture of kindness and compassion.
Yeah. It's contagious, right?
Exactly. Kindness is contagious. It's like a ripple effect of positivity.
I love that image. Okay, so to sum it all up, it seems like generosity is the gift that keeps on giving.
I agree.
It enriches our lives and the lives of those around us.
Absolutely. It brings joy, connection, and meaning.
Well said. And with that in mind, I think it's time to challenge our listeners to put this into practice. Okay, listeners, here's your challenge. What's one small act of generosity you can do today? Just one to start. Something to boost your own joy. A&D, spread a little sunshine to someone else.
I love that.
Doesn't have to be anything huge or time-consuming.
Nope.
Just a little something to brighten someone's day.
And as you go about your day, really pay attention to how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by how much of a difference it makes.
I bet it'll leave you feeling pretty great.
Definitely.
And hey, if you're feeling extra inspired, maybe sprinkle in a few more acts of kindness.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? You might even start a chain reaction.
That's the goal, right? One person, one kind act at a time.
Exactly. So go forth and spread some joy, everyone.
Spread the joy.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive into something fascinating. Until then, keep those generous spirits shining.